from The Upcoming. Such a pleasure to be able to speak to you. I mean, when I went into this film, I wasn't sure what to expect. How did you decide to do this kind of origin story as the next piece of the puzzle of the Toy Story franchise?
Well, I just wanted to make a sci-fi action movie, and I wanted to know about Buzz Lightyear's backstory, so I combined both those ideas into one, and then here we are 5.5 years later in Leicester Square, so yeah.
It's a good thing you combined them, otherwise it would be 11 years later.
And, you know, obviously you worked, I think, on every Pixar feature film all the way through, and this is your...
Toy Story. Toy Story is the only one I haven't worked on. But what was great was I got to see Toy Story as an audience member. I didn't get a chance to for everything else.
What's it like being in the director's chair for this one?
It's certainly intimidating. There's a lot of expectation on the film. But, you know, the biggest pressure you put on is yourself, from yourself, trying to make the best movie possible. I'm just so excited to finally see it with audiences, and the response has been amazing, and so it's really a dream come true.
The thing I like, you know, about all the best kids films, there's also a lot in there for adults, and all the nods to old sci-fi films, from Star Wars, Alien. I guess you're a big sci-fi buff.
Absolutely. There's a lot of very direct nods in the film, but nothing that stops the movie cold to say, remember this. I love sci-fi movies, and this film is really is a love letter to the 1977 to 1987 sci-fi films.
And, you know, what an incredible, like, fresh cast you've brought to it, and putting Chris Evans, you know, in the Buzz Lightyear voiceover. So what made you make those decisions?
Well, I think that Buzz is such an iconic character. It needed an iconic actor to take on the new version of the character. Tim Allen is still the Toy Story Buzz, but to make the Buzz, the new Buzz, the Lightyear Buzz, we needed somebody who was an action hero and was funny without being too goofy, and that fit Chris Evans to a T. And I would say that was our only choice, really. Yeah.
And I feel like, you know, there's so many, like, philosophical messages in here as well. What do you think the takeaways are from the film?
The takeaways are mainly forgive yourself for your mistakes and try to live your life where you are now. Don't dwell too much in the past, and don't worry too much about the future, because you know, your time is always moving, and you need to appreciate what you have instead of being worried about where you aren't.
Do you know what you're going to do next? Are you helming another film?
Well, we always hope to do another one, but I will need to take a rest, as it has been a non-stop work fest for the past 5.5 years, as you might imagine.
Fantastic. So lovely to speak to you. Enjoy the evening. Thank you.
Yeah, if you're going to stick with a movie for 5.5 years, you have to really love all the elements, and it was a combination of elements that I really do love. Well, it was tough. There's no way around it, I suppose. But we figured out a way to work, and then ultimately there were some benefits in that for each meeting I could use Zoom to draw over all of the work, and that allowed for a nice record for people to refer to.
We got this really interesting window into everybody's lives. That touchstone, which really, I think, influenced the film in terms of showing the themes of teamwork and, you know, and not being a sole hero, but reaching out to those that are around you, your team, and the ones that you love to accomplish goals.
What
do you already have?
I don't, not from us, I would say, but I don't know any plans for that. We're just focused on this one at the moment, but we'll see. I love coming to the UK. I'm thrilled to share Lightyear with them. They've been such a supporter of Pixar since the beginning, and we're just thrilled to be here. I've been connected to Buzz since I started the studio in 1997, and we both worked on many of the Toy Story films. After I finished Finding Dory, I really wanted to make a sci-fi action adventure movie, and I also wanted to explore about Buzz Lightyear, the character that we've worked on for so much time. But now I'm realizing how much people have a connection to this character. Our context is we've worked on it for a while, but we're just excited to show this awesome sci-fi adventure to the world.
Such an aspirational character, right? He's always trying to do the right thing, and at the same time, he's a little out of step with reality, and so that makes him just so entertaining to watch on top of it.
Well, certainly the first film I saw ever was Star Wars in the theater when I was 3, and it made a pretty big impression on me, and so I've been pretty much haunted by that ever since. But I would say basically the sci-fi films from 1977 to 1987 were the biggest influences.
The talent that we were able to get for this film is really out of this world. Chris Evans, obviously, the quintessential Buzz Lightyear. Like, he is the action adventure hero that you want. Kiki is here tonight. Kiki Palmer. She plays Izzy Hawthorne. She's basically his motivation for change in the second act. And she carries on the heart that's brought by Uzo Aduba for Alicia Hawthorne. And then, of course, tonight also is Taika Waititi playing Mo. And he brings this directionless character into such focus at the same time. It makes him really funny. So we're just thoroughly blessed.
Well, I think it's a fun action adventure film, but I think the message is basically don't spend too much time focusing on the future or regretting the past. It's focusing on where you are today and what can you do to appreciate what you have. That's really the big thing.